Officers of the Indian Navy need to be well aware of the mess etiquettes and nuances associated with fine dining. This short video is meant to provide to you an understanding on such aspects. Let me now introduce you to some of the official functions organized in messes. Mess night. It is an official dinner organized for service officers and is generally called upon by the PMC of the mess. Ladies' night. It is also an official dinner wherein the ladies are invited. Station reception. It is organized in honor of important dignitaries. The service used in official functions in wardroom messes is generally silver service. It is performed by a steward using a service fork and a service spoon to transfer food from a service dish into officer's plate from the diner's left. There will usually be a sitting plan near the door of the dining room or place cards on the table. There are strict rules as to whom sits where at the table, and it would be extremely embarrassing if you had to be asked to move. The host will sit at the head of the table. This is normally the seat farthest from the doors or commotion. When you are seated at the table, your feet should be firmly planted on the floor in front of you. Do not cross your legs. Do not lean back on your chair and do not shake your feet. Your elbows should be at your side at all times. Sit upright and do not lean over your plate when you are eating. Now, let us discuss a few aspects on napkin mannerisms. Your napkin should be unfolded and placed on your knees. Never tuck your napkin in front of your shirt or uniform. The space required by a single person to dine, including all the cutlery, crockery and glassware, is known as cover. Now let us see how you must use forks and knives. On a properly set table, you usually see a series of forks on the left side of your plate and a series of spoons and knives on your right. The very simple rule is to always work from outside in. Now let us start with the first course of the formal meal. It is known as hors d'oeuvres. It applies to the service of various cold salads, prawn cocktails, shrimp cocktails, etc. They are had with a teaspoon, which is placed on the outermost right hand side of the cover. They are usually brought in a champagne glass with a side plate beneath it. After finishing the course, the teaspoon is to be kept vertically on the side plate. The next course for the meal is soup. It is never drunk. It is always eaten. When eating soup, the soup bowl must stay on the table. To eat your soup, push your spoon away from you, starting at the center of the bowl to the farthest edge. Bring the spoon to your mouth and drink the soup from the edge. Do not put the whole spoon into your mouth. Do not slurp. The French term for the soup is potage. Soup sticks are served with this course, which are kept on the side plate, kept on the left hand side of the cover. Once the course is finished, the soup spoon is vertically placed in the soup bowl itself. The next course is fish course. They are consumed with fish knife and fish fork, which is kept on the either side of the cover. Do not point with your cutlery. With fish course is served white wine, which is served in a white wine glass. Normally, during a formal dinner, you will have 2 or more glasses at the table. These glasses are usually arranged in a diagonal or roughly square pattern. The glass which is on the right upper side of your plate is the white wine glass. The French term for the fish course is poisson. Relevé is the main meat course on the menu. Side dishes in the form of pastas, potatoes, salads are also served along with it. It is consumed with the main dinner knife and main fork kept on the either side of the cover. Do not blow on the hot food to cool it down. Wait for it to cool itself. Do not eat chicken or chops with your fingers. Assorted breads and dinner rolls are served with it and are kept on the side plate, kept on the left side of the cover. Red wine is served with this course, which is served in a red wine glass, which is on the right upper on the left of the white wine glass. The top left glass is for the red wine. It will usually have a fairly large bowl. Do not gulp your wine. The purpose of the wine at dinner is to complement your food, not to help you along the way to drunkenness. Never hold the glass for the server to pour your wine. When drinking wine, never hold a wine glass by the bowl. Always with the stem. Wine will stay cooler if the heat from your hand is not passed. Always take small portions of food at a time and put your cutlery down between each mouthful. When you put your cutlery down, place it on the plate. Never back on the table, and do not rest it half on and half off the plate. Cross the tips of the two pieces or angle it if there is just one. This tells the server that you are not finished yet. And when you are finished, place your knife and fork together in the center of the plate vertically. You should always hold both your knife and fork. You should not cut your food up at the start and then use your fork only. The tines of your fork should always point down. For difficult foods like peas, you should use your knife to squash them onto the tip of the fork. The fork is not a scoop. Do not use it like one. If you are eating something that has stones or pips in it, you may use your forefinger and thumb to remove them from your mouth. Place them on the side of your plate. You must never use a toothpick at the table. Do not salt your meal before you have tasted it. Whenever passed, the cruet set is passed containing both salt and pepper. If you are having bread with your meal, there will usually be a small side plate on the left hand side which is used for placing breads. Bread should never be cut. When you wish to eat it, tear a bite-sized piece off with your fingers. Normally, there should never be butter served at the dinner table, but these days it is seen from time to time. If there is butter, use your butter knife placed in the butter dish and transfer sufficient butter for your bread in one go. Place it on the side of your side plate. You should butter each piece of bread as you eat it. The fifth and last course of the 5-course menu is desserts. All forms of fresh fruits, nuts and puddings may be served in this course. They are consumed with the dessert spoon and dessert fork which are kept on the top of the table mat in a crossed manner. The pudding spoon is held in the same way as your knife, with the bowl of the spoon facing inwards. The pudding fork is used as a pusher only. You do not put a pudding fork into your mouth. Using the fork, push a small portion of your pudding onto the angled spoon. When you have finished eating, the same rules apply here for placing your cutlery back on the plate. When you have finished eating, the napkin should be placed tidily to the left side of your plate and never onto your plate. On completion of all the courses, officers are to leave the table without making any noises.